Well, hello there, everyone. YouTube world. Have you missed me? I've missed you. My name is Julie Jung, and I recently moved to Germany, Munich to be specific, with my husband. And I'm telling you all about my life here. So it's been a little while since I posted anything. We've been busy. People, we've been busy. We moved to a new apartment, which I will talk about at a later time. My dad came to visit for 3 weeks and we were doing a lot of traveling. It was Christmas, it was Thanksgiving before that. There was just a lot going on. So YouTube went to the back burner and I didn't do nothing. I did nothing on YouTube. But I'm back. It's 2020. Happy New Year! Whoa! Happy New Year! And like a good human, I made lots of resolutions that I will surely break by the end of the month. One of those resolutions was to be more consistent on YouTube, and here I am following through on my resolutions, being good, being a good girl for the first week, and we'll see where I go from here. So as you can see, my set right now is just so professional. This is the one place I could find in the apartment that does not echo because we have no furniture right now. So I'm in the kitchen, very small kitchen, but it's buffered and it shouldn't be too echoey. I put some lovely plants here. We're gonna have some tea later. Don't you just feel like you're in my home and we're going to have a little coffee or tea date? Would you like some tea? I'll get you some tea. Right, so let's get to the point. What are we talking about today? I'd like to know as well. One of the biggest things or the biggest differences that I have noticed since moving to Munich is the food. And I do a lot of videos on food because I love food and I love traveling and trying new foods, finding weird foods, foods that are weird to me, and discovering all of the new flavors. So food is very important to me, and moving to a new country, I did not know what to expect. I had heard a lot of people talk about the food in Europe, that the quality was much better, and the process of processing food, that's a smart statement. Processing the food is much different here, but I really had no grid for what that meant. I had been to Italy with my husband for our honeymoon about a year and a half ago, around there, and the food quality was much better. I was able to eat a ton of pasta and pizza and not be bloated out of my mind. People who bloat, you get me. You know what I'm talking about. You have just a speck of carbs and bread, and you look like you're 8 months pregnant. It's real, y'all, it's real. So when we went to Italy, I was just gorging myself on pasta and pizza and pastries and bread and on and on and on, and I was fine. Actually, when I got back to the States, I realized I had lost a couple pounds. What? How's that happening? I'm eating pasta and losing weight? That's not happening in America. So I had that experience, but other than that, my knowledge of food in Europe and the quality was very limited. So moving here, I didn't really know what to expect. I was expecting it to be really good because people had said it was really good. And I will be the first to tell you, it is really good. Guys, the food quality here, it's blowing my mind. It's so good. When we first got here, we went to the supermarket, of course, as you do. And I had seen videos on the restrictions on like fruits and vegetables and how the laws are pretty intense when it comes to what kind of fruit and vegetable you can sell in the supermarket. For instance, if a cucumber is bent more than a certain degree, an angle, something, then you can't sell that. Is that true? I don't do any research before I do these videos, so I don't know what I'm saying. Don't take everything I say as truth. This is the #1 rule on my channel. Don't take it all as truth. This is my personal experience, and this is not a blanket video for all of Germany. I'm in Munich, so I don't know what's happening in Berlin, Hamburg, Frankfurt. I don't know. I have not been to these places yet, so my experience is here, and I want to be sure to clarify that This is Julie Jung's personal experience. This is not an attack in any way on Germany. My videos are never an attack. Sometimes I feel like people think they are, but they're not. I love it here. I digress. Back to food. So there are pretty intense laws and restrictions, regulations on the food quality and what you can sell, what you can't sell in a supermarket. So when we first went shopping here, we were shocked at how beautiful the fruits and vegetables were. First of all, in most cases, you don't have to dig through produce to find good produce. It's all pretty good, depending on where you go. I have been to some places where it's obviously old and has not been restocked for a while. But in general, especially if you go to farmers markets, like there's a place called the Victorian Market. Holy moly, that stuff is like out of a book. It is perfect. So perfect. You're also going to pay a higher price there. But in general, the produce and vegetables are just delicious. They taste better. The quality is better. I don't think they're using as many weird sprays and stuff on the fruits and vegetables. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't really know what they're doing in farming here. Maybe I'll look into that after I do this video. That's a good idea. Or perhaps people watching this video can help me learn what are the farming practices here and what are you allowed to use and not use. I did hear that, what's that stuff? Roundup was recently legalized here. Is that true? Should have looked that up. I didn't. So someone tell me, is Roundup legal? Roundup is very bad, very bad. So there were specific foods that there were noticeable difference between quality in the States and quality here. So the fruits and vegetables were number one, tastier, more fresh, don't last as long. I got a butternut squash where in the States, that sucker's lasting for about 10 years. Here, we got it and then we went away on holiday for like 3 days. And by the time I got back, it was rotting. That's a fresh food. So I guess they're not spraying it with the junk that we do in the States. Fruits and vegetables, number one. Number two, the milk. Wow, the milk. We buy this stuff called alpine milk, alpine milk. And it's coming from cows that are grazing happily on the Alps. And when I tasted this milk, I stopped. I was like, what is this? Is this what milk is supposed to taste like? Because I don't know what I've been drinking. It's not this. So again, the processing, however they're doing the milk, I don't know, but it's so good. It's like what I think milk should taste like. If you were on a farm and had just milked the cow and you drink it right out of the bucket, that's what it tastes like. So on the same lines, butter is also, wow, I've not tasted butter like this. So you can buy Kerrygold brand butter in the States, and that is known to be like a really good brand of butter from Ireland, yes. And all of the butter here is like that. It is so delightful. People, you can put the butter in the fridge, you keep it in the fridge, you take it out and it is soft. So in the States, when you're making cookies and you need soft butter, you need to take that sucker out of the fridge probably a day before so it gets soft. I think there are just a lot more stabilizers in the butter. Here, you can take that stuff out of the fridge and it's soft, ready to spread. I made cookies the other day and I took the butter out of the fridge, let it sit for probably like 15 minutes, put in what I needed to the batter, and I was able to smash that with a knife. No, with a fork. Could have used a knife, but a fork. It was soft enough to mix with a fork. Blew my mind. So the butter is so, so good. It tastes so good. Please, if you, for any other reason, come to Germany, just come for the butter alone. Next would be the bread situation. Germany, my hat is off to you. If I wore a hat right now, I would take it off to you because your bread, you are killing it. Best bread I've ever had in my life. Now, again, in the States, diet culture demonizes bread. Also health culture because of the gluten and the way the wheat is processed. Bread is the devil. So I hadn't really incorporated bread regularly into my diet for years. Probably since I was in high school, that's when I really stopped eating a lot of bread. And it was causing a lot of problems for me, bloating. I guess bloating was the biggest thing, but just like didn't sit well in my stomach. Also, the bread just wasn't very good. I didn't think it was that good. Go buy a loaf of wheat bread from the supermarket and it's disgusting. So when I moved here, I was like, sure, the bread, whatever. People say it's so good, but I don't like bread. So I don't think I'm really going to care about it. Oh, wrong. The bread. Oh, the bread. If we ever leave Germany, that's the number one thing I will miss. This bread is so delicious. It is dense, yet moist, yet wonderful. It's magic. You can go to the bakery every morning. I believe they make it fresh and they pretty much sell out by the end of the day. And it's so deliciously crusty on the outside and like bouncy on the inside. I get something called the Dinkelpure. I'm saying it incorrectly. I know. Correct me. The Dinkelpure, which is a dark bread and it's full of seeds, some nuts too. Wow, it's so delicious. I'm going to do a video all on bread because it's so good. Put some cheese, meat on there. You got yourself a perfect meal. It's so good. So the magic of all of this is that I don't feel sick when I eat the bread. In fact, I don't even feel bloated. Guys, this is a miracle. I really can't eat a lot of bread in the States. I don't have celiac where I'm not tolerant to it, but I just don't feel good when I eat the bread. So here, it's a miracle that I can eat bread for most meals. I'm not gonna lie. I have bread for most meals. And it's not making my stomach upset or bloat or giving me any problems. It's only bringing delight and love to my life. So Germany, I would like to thank you for your bread. And please do not stop doing what you're doing. And please, I beg you, do not incorporate the practices of America and ruin your bread. Please do not do it. Whatever we're doing there, don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Find out what we're doing there and don't do it because that would be the saddest thing to ever happen. Bread. Oh, I'm going to have bread after I do this video. I have some. I'm going to have some bread. So bread, baked goods are so good. So the point of all this really is that the food in America, I'm sad to say, is junk overall. The processed stuff, at least. I mean, in order to feel good, I had to cut out everything. I was doing dairy-free, gluten-free, sugar-free, taste-free. I mean, there are a lot of products that are really, really good who are doing allergy-free products. Like the market is really increased. But why should we have to do that? Why? Why should I have to cut out bread, entire food groups, because the quality is bad? Well, I'm happy to say that I can incorporate them back into my diet. And I have lost weight. I have not changed anything about the amount of food I'm eating. In fact, I'm eating more bread, more pastries, more bad food than ever before in my life. And I've actually lost weight. 10 pounds, probably 10 pounds. That's like 4 kilos, 4.5 kilos, just because of the food quality. I promise you I'm not eating less. I am walking more, but not enough to warrant losing 10 pounds. So it makes me really frustrated and angry that I spent all this time in America focusing on weight loss and food quality and what I was and wasn't eating and like focusing on the food and trying so hard to accomplish certain goals with weight and bloating. And gosh, I worked with a lot of different doctors to fix the bloating and the sugar cravings. Oh, it could go on and on. I should do multiple videos. It's just ridiculous. Coming here and experiencing something totally different, purely based on food quality alone, is quite enraging to me that the food I was eating in the States was working against me, even though I was working so hard and working out and counting calories and not eating certain foods, and it was just all working against me. So I am so thankful to be here for that reason alone. And I don't know if I could ever go back to America just because of that, because it's a huge thing. We went back to New York for a week in November for my birthday, and I ate it up. Like, yeah, I'm eating all the things I love while I'm there, duh. And a couple of days in, my husband and I both were like, oh, I feel gross. It's like after every meal we had, I would hit this low and I would feel so bloated and so disgusting, even though the food was so good. It was so good. The food in New York is so good. It's very tasty. But it's probably tasty because they're putting a lot of stuff in it, and the way they process the food makes it very delicious, but it's like Frankenfood. Not all of it, not all of it. There are really healthy places, but in general, like I was not eating super duper healthy when I was there, but I was feeling gross. And also emotionally, I noticed that after I would eat, my emotions would be like wild. And I realized, oh, I used to feel this all the time. And I didn't even know that was happening to me until I moved here, and I'm experiencing the opposite of just feeling much more emotionally even and not having those wild ups and downs, not craving sugar like I used to. Just so many benefits food-wise of being here. So I'm so thankful that Germany has excellent food practices. And like I said, please do not change those because it's the best thing. It's probably my favorite thing about Germany is the food quality. And I'm going to do more videos on it because I have more to say. And this is just getting too long. So Germany, thank you. You're lovely. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year and that your Christmas was amazing. Christmas in Germany was so fun. I'll talk about it later. But I wanted to talk about this because it's been one of the most wild differences in food from the States to here. So cheerio, everyone. Please be sure to leave a comment below. Let me know your experience with food. If you know the practices of food here and what the restrictions and regulations are for like food production and processing food, I would love to know that because honestly, I am baffled as to why the food quality is so different from the States. I don't know. It's very sad to me. So whatever you know about this or whatever your experience has been with traveling to the States, or if you're from the States and moved to Europe and you experience the same thing, let me know what you have experienced and how your life has been affected by the food quality, good or bad. So that's all I have to say for now. Like the video, have to remember all the things. Like it, subscribe, please subscribe. Share the photo. Follow me on Instagram. I am Waffles and Whimsy on Instagram. Comment. I guess that's it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. And peace out, yo.